downside from, let's say, for the past few days now. Eventually, this price supposed to we should be expecting a upside on this movement, but it ended up being rejected. However, we are also looking at a retracement from the previous movement. So what I'm looking at here, I'm on 4 hours right now, and we're looking at what we have here. And looking at what we have here, so this seems like we might be having this triangle here. So the market might easily come down a little bit more, and then we might see a movement like this, then a movement like this, okay? Because we're looking at this very movement here, then a movement like this, we might see jump high. However, we might also see yeah. So we might also see a movement to the downside. So we might see something like this. It comes down and then go down the word. However, I'm not looking to sell this pair. I'm looking to buy. I'm looking to buy. So what I'm looking at is if I have any level, if I have anything that will reject this price now, I'm gonna take it. So if I see anything like this and like this, okay, a rejection candle stick, then we should be looking at something around this area, okay? If the reason is because if this market hits this very trend line, we're looking for it to bounce back. Why? We are not looking for it to break this very low. All right. There are two reasons why this price could break this low. Two reasons: a manipulation, and the other thing is we are having it has broken the support and we could be going downward, but it won't go down just like that. It might come back up and then we test the resistance, and which is this area, then before dropping down back here. So because I had some people texting me regarding this Euro USD and what should be happening. However, we should be looking at the buy side for Euro USD, but because of the news which came out on Thursday, really messed everything up. So now we are looking to buy this very pair now, or we are looking at selling this pair for the short period of the time. So this is what I was looking at, and then when the news came out, the news broke my EMAs here, and then it shut down. So, however, I'm looking at this EMA here. If they try to cross at this area, I might be looking at selling USD more. However, they are crossing already, but they might not. It might be a consolidation crossing. So something like this. So if I have something like this, I'll just leave the trade. But if I have something that is really separated from each other, then I might be looking to sell this pair continuously to the downside. However, what we are looking at is how we can buy Euro USD, because but on a long time basis, we might hit the support, then we're looking to buy. If we put it on daily, we have a very good movement to the downside so far. Let me put it on 4 hour. That will be clearer. Here, why we have this call is we are looking for opportunities which we're gonna be having in the next few weeks. Yeah. We have this here, and looking at it, we have a very good movement on Euro USD to the downside for the past month now. Then looking at it, there's a cycle that we have here, but I don't think everybody paid notice to this cycle on Euro USD. And this is what I'm looking at. Every time the market does this, okay, the market does this, Then I will now show you something else now, which the market has been doing that we don't pay attention to at all. Okay. When this movement starts, the first movement came down, then rally back up. Okay. The second movement came down, then we have a shorter movement. Okay. And this is the short movement here, which came down again. Okay. Now we have another what? We have another spike up. So which means that the market came down. So the next time the market is coming back up again, we should be expecting the market should go a bit higher or a bit lower, not higher. So apparently we are looking at this very kind with this very high here and this one. Okay, this one I will still value it as a high one as well. But my main point is that whenever you're looking at a high one, you should be expecting another low one. A high one, another low one. That's what I'm expecting. So starting from this very place here, because this is the new trend here, so I will say this is the valid one. So starting from here, we have this one, higher and low one, higher and low one. So what I'm expecting now is if this market goes to the support here, we might be expecting another high. Okay, we might be expecting another high here. Do you understand what I'm trying to say now? So basically, this is what the market has been doing so far. The market when we got our cycle, our first phase one, we had the higher, it came down, we have our low, then it came down again, we have our high, and now we're having another one which will represent another low. So the next time the market comes now, we are expecting another high, so which will broke this one. However, and this is what some people don't understand. When they see the market is approaching the resistance, what do? They take off their profit. All right. Why they're looking to sell. However, they sell because the market will give them the price action to sell, but the market goes up. And what happened? They close their trade, not knowing that the market has been doing exactly the same thing before. So basically, this is what, even if we now have an uptrend now, yeah, this is what you should be expecting as well. You have a high, you have a low. Yeah, we have a high, you have a low. Okay, so that is one trick I think you should understand about each pair. Each pair, they have their own pattern, and when you get their pattern, it's very easy for you to follow the cycle of the trade, each of them. So for me now, what I'm looking at um in this Euro USD now, I'm looking for buy. I'm not looking for sell. So whatever happens with this pair, if it goes down, fine. I don't mind. All I'm looking for is how I'm going to be buying this pair. Now, how are we going to look for buying now? The point is that we're going to be looking at, let me take this off. Okay. So I'm going to, so I'm going to squeeze it a bit, and I'll take my trend line. What I'm looking at now, I'm looking at if I can get this. Okay, so I'm looking at this market bouncing back from this very trend line here, and if it's bounced back, I might anticipate them buying this. However, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place this here. Okay, so first of all, I'm looking at if the market can break this trend line. That's giving me number one confirmation. My number two confirmation is this. Okay, so this could take like another 2 weeks, okay, before we even see another uptrend at all. Or let's say by this month end, we might have a movement. So if I see market break this one, I might scalp it just to the upside, and then it bounce back, and I see this broken, then I'll be looking to buy this big time, big time. So this is what I'm looking at. This is my final confirmation. Let's look at what RSI is saying. Okay, look, RSI is saying exactly the same thing. Okay, so you can do this on your RSI. Okay, put this. All right, the moment the market keeps coming and break this trend line, all right, then it's going to reject, but which means that it has tested it. All right, then we are looking. The moment the market now comes down, we are looking to buy. So we have a channel here, but you don't know. Okay, we have a channel here, but looking at it so far, if you would have sold this pair, it would have been like this. So so if this market came here last on Thursday and it has broken this trend line, could you imagine what you could have done? You could have sold this pair. So this is another trick how you can get your signal even without looking at the chart. So let's say, so for example, sometimes I do this to my chart. Okay, I don't want to see the candlestick because it's too noisy. What I'm looking at is just my RSI. Okay, but that's another way of advanced way of trading this very line. Okay, so look at it this way: the moment it breaks it, what do? You sell it. So when you sell this, we will have cut a few pips during this place, but this was a news basically, so it was very fast. So you might have missed the entry basically. So, but in another way, I will show you more on this very way of trading this RSI blind chart without using candlestick. Okay, but it's a way of you if you don't know how to read the candlestick formation. So looking at the RSI plus what you think the market has been doing with your trend line, then you can predict that this is what the market is doing. Then another way of looking at the market, I will show you another trick of looking at the market in a different formation. Yeah. I don't know anyone have tried to place a trend line before or try to look for support and resistance. So what I do sometimes to get a accurate support and resistance, let me show you a big trick now. We can agree that the market bounce back here, bounce back here, bounce back here, bounce back here, bounce back here and here and here, okay? But if you do like this, you get a different thing entirely. Did you see that the market didn't touch the line? Okay, so this here, placing it on top here, this is actually our price. Okay, this is actually our price. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna enlarge it a bit and make it another color so we can see what happened there. Okay, so if I put it back to candlestick, you see the difference. So do you see that the candlestick closes just there, and the body, that's where the body is. Okay, look at that. I'm gonna enlarge it a bit. Do you see that at the gray line? Yeah, it closes just there. So that's your main prices, which means that if you go to like 1 hour, okay. Oh, I moved it. I'm sorry. Let me put it back. Yeah, I'm still there. Okay. If you go to 1 hour, you can see that you have a very clear view here that the market anticipate on the gray one more than the red one. So what I mean is that some people like to draw their trend line like support and resistance from daily and weekly, stuff like that. So when you put it on weekly, you can do the same thing as well. Okay, put it on the line, all right, and then look for the reversing point and put your line there. You will surely get a very accurate support and resistance, which means that when the market breaks that line, your trend line, it does on a candlestick, it doesn't mean that the market has broken it, it means that the market is making an extension and then it will surely close under your trend line. Okay, it will surely close under your trend line based on that. So when we're taking it back to 1 hour, 4 hour, so put your trend line and then ride this baby to wherever it's going the next time you want to trade Euro USD. But my main point is not even Euro USD. My main point here is some other pairs that I send a signal on. For example, I've got Euro USD here. So Euro USD, oh sorry, this is another way of trading this here. Yeah, so we have USD CHF here, and I send the signal we should be selling this around this very area. We're supposed to be selling this around this area, but on Friday, on Thursday, it went higher and higher and higher. However, looking at it on a daily, yeah, we have something. So it looks like it's broken the resistance that we have in the past, which might give us an extension of the upside. Looking at it, this is what I'm looking at here. I'm looking at this and I'm looking at this. Okay, this is another option. Yeah. Then I also look at this very one here. All right. So if I take it out, if I take this one out, then I'm having a very accurate trend here, which means that, and this is another triangle, which means what? The market just hit our resistance of the trend line. However, we're looking to what? To sell this pair. So it has made an extension. So it's not too late, at least, to get into this trend, into this pair, to ride it to the downside. At least you're looking where to take your profit, where to take a profit when it hits this trend line, same as this, same as this. Okay, so USD CHF is a very good trade. I think we should get on. However, we also have something here. I don't know if anybody knows what's this candlestick formation that we have here, because now we're looking at price action only. Okay, this is called inside bar. Okay, this inside bar means that it's time for us to sell this pair. Why? The bearish are getting into the market to take this market to the right side, but they are not yet enough. Okay, the sellers are not yet enough in the market. So we're looking at the market should open next. The next thing you might have a rally down, which is gonna break this very high price here, and that's it. So, but my point here is that you can still get in later if you don't even miss it or you're scared. But my point is that it's better not for you to risk that much. Why don't you get in earlier and risk a very little bit than you getting in later and the market comes back and your broker increase your leverage or your spread, and what happened? Take you out instead. Or the market goes up, why you risk a little bit and then you take times hundreds of profit. So this is what I'm looking at, and from my point of view, I think we should be looking at getting into this trade and take it to the next level. So which is USD CHF. So when we get here, you might also try to see of the way of buying this pair again, because the more you follow this kind of pairs, the more you understand the psychology behind it, the trend behind it, then you know that the next thing it has to do is this. So you can also draw this on your chart as well while you follow the movement. And even if you don't want to trade it, you can trade it on a demo and see what it's going to give you as a result. Mind you, looking at this, I will show you another thing now. Okay, no, we have this here. Okay, which means that when the market comes down now, we are expecting the market to bounce back from this area. Let's put our Fibonacci and let's see if we are right or wrong. Okay, so I'm gonna put on 4 hour. So I'll put on 4 hour and take it down Sorry. Yeah. So let's see what we have here. Okay. So a very good chance that we have 261 and 161 in between. So which means that anytime the market is coming down now, the market will reverse it from this very area, which I've drawn my red line here, where the market broke recently. However, if we also take it to level and we say, oh, we measure from here, do we see that we have 261 just lying there as well? And if I take this very thing out, let me try to take it out. Can we see that we have 432 just lying at that red line? So which means that the market might bounce back from here, okay, and we test this very 100% here before dropping down. So which means that if you're taking your first profit at all, you might think of taking it at 261 or 423, which is around the price is which is around let's say 100507. Okay, yeah. The market must surely bounce back from here before you now start looking of selling again. Then another option you can also look for is this. Okay, I'll take my Fibonacci off now. So zoom out. So looking at this, then taking this. So could you see that if the market comes down, no matter what the market is doing, whatever, we have a potential of the market bouncing back from here. So which means that this very area is a very tough area. However, we would overcome this area. But what will happen is that the market will come back, could test this area or could test 161. Okay. And then by that time the market will have gotten to an edge where the market will surely drop, and we should be looking at the market hitting this very um, outer trend line before we might now looking to buy again or to sell to the downside when the price will surely fall then. So it depends on what the market will be doing then. For now, we should be selling for is a swing. This is a swing trade and it's a long time. However, you can also day trade this if you want. How you can day trade this is simple. Go to your 1 hour and go to all your 15 minutes, okay, and look for what place your Fibonacci, and whenever what happens when it breaks your low, you take the trade, you take it to where you take it to your 161, you take your profit, and then that's it. That's it. If you want to buy it back again, you can buy it back. But sometimes the market likes to do extension, so you might be scared of, oh, it's not gonna come back. No, it's gonna come back. Okay, it's gonna come back. So when you come back, you close your trade. But the point here is that day trade is by you taking the price, sell it from here. All right, sell it to here. Okay, sell it to here. That's 11 pips already. But you're using higher lots for it, you're fine with it. Depends on your account. However, if you think you don't want to, fine. You might wait for it checking out this bounce back, and then when it tested 100%, then you might looking for a sell to the downside. And you can also place your trend line here. Okay, so the moment the market keep following this trend, come here, bounce, come here, bounce, come here, bounce, keep bouncing until it gets to 423. So that's it on the USD CHF. We've got other ones as well which we should be looking at, and there is um, GBP USD. GBP have been making some move for the past few weeks, but our point here is that we might be having a sell on GBP USD, then which has been happening so far. But looking at it here, if you still want to get on the trade, I think it's the right time to get on it. Place a trend line here. But my my whole decision on this is that in the next week we might be having a potential of selling this. Looking at this, you agree with me, okay? Can you see that the support is broken, slightly broken? But the thing is that the price don't even want you to see this. That's the whole fact. The price don't even want you to see this. That's why it's cunningly broken it. And then what? It tested and rejected it. So you might have something next week, which is gonna be amazing. So looking at it on 4 hour, could you see that how beautiful it is here that it's retested? We might have something like this on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, when the market will come back inside just to deceive traders. Okay, that oh yeah, but looking at it, just wait for it. Wait for it. If you can be patient, you're gonna get a lot of money from this page, from this GBP USD. Get the trade from somewhere around this area. I would say anything from 1.29718. Just get a trade from there. Do you know where the price is going? Okay, so we're gonna do this now by replacing this. Okay, so how my first take profit, I'm just taking my take profit here. Okay, I'm taking it at 2867. So I'm take profit. The second take profit, I'm taking it here because we have a very strong support there. I'm not even looking at 423. I'm taking my second profit here. So which means that at least we should be having up to, looking at it, that's let's say 900 pips, and let's looking at this, that's a 230 pips. So that's not enough. Understand that that's a 2 grand already. So which we think is gonna be a profitable trade for us. And not only this, okay, not only this we also have, I think so. Let me see, what do we have here? Okay. Yeah, we have the same thing, almost the same thing at GBP, JPY as well, where we have this very, yeah. Then we have this here, but putting on daily, we might be looking at this. First of all, we've broken our trend and it tested it. Okay, so don't be surprised. This is a downside movement already. Okay, either you're buying it now or whenever the market opens, or you buy it later. Okay, but the point is that this has broken our trend line to the downside. Okay, so which means that we will be taking this pair to the downside. So what we should be looking at now is this. Okay, then we should forget about this for now. So I'm looking at taking this trade. Okay, sorry. So I'm looking at taking this trade now on 4 hour. So now the market went up. Let me expand it a bit. Yeah. The market went up on Friday and later what closed, broke this support and closed here. So which means that, however, looking at this, Okay, looking at this, all right, this might be a false. Okay, the market might open, then go back up again. So the market might go back up again. Yeah, so the market might go back up again, and then we end up having the movement to this very area here. What will happen next? Shut down. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't mean that you sell this trade now. It means that it's going up, you close your trade immediately. So you calculate your risk, then you place your stop loss in a very safe area. Then you can take this ride to the other side of the price. So let's look at where this price is going. Okay. So can you see that at the trend line we have our 423 there? So we should be looking at taking our first profit around this here because we have a very strong area here, support. So this price might even comes down and bounce back and hit this trend line before shutting down again. So I would say sell to this price 144170, then wait for another sell. Okay, wait for another sell. However, there might be pressure in the market why the market might broke up and never look back and just rally down to this before coming back to retest this. Okay, but my point is that you can take a profit here or bank 90% of your trade and leave the rest to run to 4 to 3. All right, so that will be another point of where we should be looking at. Um, yeah, so that's for GPP, JPY. Quickly, and I'm gonna shift to I'm gonna go to uh let me look at let's look at AUD card. Yeah. After this, anyone that have any pair that they want to look at, we can quickly look at it as well and see what we've got. Okay, so who do we have here? So we have AUD card. Yeah. Okay. This is what I see on AUD card. The way I'm looking at it now, it's a very good pair. Anyone that have their question could type it in the chat box so I can go through it and answer it. Okay. So we have our trend here. For me, what I'm seeing here, this is a sell. Okay. We have a sell movement here. Then if we should look at what we've got here, I think we've broken our trend line either. Um, yeah, look at that. So it has been broken. Okay. So now it's retesting it. Let's take it to 4 hour. So these are very good trade. I think we should be looking at for. Okay. So on 4 hour, we have a very nice movement here. So which means that the price on Friday retraces this, retest this. We might see a further move. Okay. So which means that I'm gonna close this trade by putting it this way. Okay. So if I see any movement at all to this very area, is in the danger zone, I'm selling it. So I'm getting in earlier. And when I'm gonna add to my trade when it comes back to this very area, I'm adding to my trade here and take it to the downside. So this is a very good trade to anticipate on. So looking at it from this side, or let's say from this side, yes, we've got 68 pips from here. So that's around that's another 600 pounds in your pocket. From here, I'm looking at a 95 pounds. So, but if we should look at it in overall, we might say, okay, let's look at what do we have. So we might see if, yeah, that's it. We have 161 around this area. So we see that we might be looking at the market bouncing back from this very area, or we might be seeing the market dropping down further, break the trend line and drop further down. So that could be another thing that could happen. But so far, we see that this trade has been secured to the downside. So we can also wait for price action to give us what it has been happening so far. Then when we look at, let's look at our RSI just for extra confirmation. Yeah, so this is beautiful. The market tells us that the candlestick keeps saying that upside, yeah. Look at the channel and what RSI keeps saying that downside. See that? We keep saying downside. So what we're looking at now is we're looking for the price to break this trend line, then we take the trade to the downside. That's what we should be anticipating on now. So yeah, that's interesting, interesting, interesting. So very well. So I'm gonna go through the chat box and see whoever that left a message there, so we can have a look at it quickly.